What's going on, Pulsar kids? Happy Saturday. Yes, it's Saturday. Oh, there we go. It is bonus day for you guys, as I normally don't stream on Saturdays, but we are going to fit one in this weekend because we have a protocol that we want to shine the light on, that we want to celebrate. That's why we got the celebration hat on. We're also still pumping. We're green. It's been green all morning. I don't know if let's check at the secret chart real quick before we dive in, because I have not checked that today. Yep, looks good as normal, guys. I mean, I don't know, man. This is amazing where we're at and where we're going with Pulse Chain. But I want to continue shining the light on builders, right? We want to make sure that we're in good faith, helping these guys get the word out, making sure that their protocols are being used, right? It doesn't mean you have to go and buy their token or anything like that, but like, I'm using this particular protocol and I've been using it for about 6 months now, and I absolutely loved it. As most of you guys know, I like doing the Pulse X in Ink Farm. They tend to rock and roll together pretty lock, stock, and barrel, although the Pulse X has been gaining on ink in the last month or two. But I think when the tide turns, when we go really risk on, I think ink will come back into my ratio. So that's when I'll pull my liquidity. But I'm using this protocol, and I'll bring on our guest today, and he's going to be really able to dive into. But this protocol is an auto compounder. Literally takes your yield from whatever your LP and from whether it be 9-inch, whether it be like Pulse X. And it takes it and then auto compounds it back into the LP without you have to do that work. That's what a lot of us do anyways, right? We're going in there once a week. We're selling these freaking LP tokens. And it's like, man, it's like we create a second job for ourselves, especially if you have a lot of liquidity positions. It gets to be pretty tiresome. And then this way is auto compounding. You're earning interest on top of your interest. And of course, they have their own reward token that they hand out for using the auto compounder. And I don't want to butcher too much, guys. So I'm going to bring the man on. This is the dev. This is the guy who created this. My man, thank you so much. We got Kairos in the house. Guys, Kairos is the creator of the IMPLS protocol that I'm enjoying. And then that is basically, in my opinion, one of the best yield aggregators, if not only yield, not aggregator or compounder, if not only the yield compounder we have on Pulse Chain. But Kairos, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me on. Good. Yeah, I think Impulse is one of the only yield aggregators. That was kind of what got my gears turning on releasing it. So I appreciate you having me up and allowing me to go over the protocol.
Absolutely. What you tell the audience just a little bit about yourself? Why are you in the Pulse Chain community? Have you been here? Are you a day one Hexacan? Like, what's your story? What's your origin story there?
So I wasn't actually. I didn't buy Hex like last cycle or anything. So I was new to the community when I joined in, but I joined in basically right after the network launched. I think I launched Impulse about 2 months after the chain went live and everything. So I kind of consider myself lucky because I didn't have the long wait, for Pulse Chain that a lot of people had. I kind of I kind of hopped in and everything was going. So I was like, awesome. And before that, I've always been a developer. I've been pretty much developing my whole life, working on websites, traffic monetization, that type of stuff. But it was like 2022, really when DeFi was starting to really pick up and farming was becoming a thing, and Uniswap had launched and we had new protocols. That was really when I got into it and started checking it out and kind of doing my own stuff. The way Impulse came about was actually, it was the end of that cycle, and there was this protocol that I had. This was the original fork, what I forked from, that I went over the code and I was like, man, this is cool. Like, this is like a good idea. It's like the yield aggregator, but also it's incentivized, with the Impulse token. So I kind of did that in the back of my mind. I was like, I'd like to fork this, and And then yeah, Pulse Chain came along, and I was like, boom, this is perfect. The APR on PulseX, like this fits together well, and that's kind of how it got started.
Oh, that is beautiful. And guys, I'm gonna bring on DeFi Nation too. I see some of you guys talking about him in the chat. He's actually how I found IMPLS or Impulse. And yeah, DeFi Nation is a very avid liquidity provider in all the different ecosystems on Pulse Chain, right? 9ants, $2, PulseX, obviously IMPLS. And so I want to bring them on just to kind of co-host the show today. What's going on, DeFi Nation? You there with us?
Yeah. Hey guys. Hey Corey. Hey Karos. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Truly blessed, man. Truly blessed. But cool, man. So Karos, yeah, talk about more. So you found Pulse Chain. You're like, man, I want to fork this thing. What thing is that? Do you mind elaborating? Was it on Binance? Was it over on Ethereum? What was it?
It was over on Avalanche is where I originally found it. It was called Cycle.finance. Yeah. And as far as I know, I think we're like the only fork of it that I've ever seen out in the wild after. And yeah, that was kind of where I was like, man, I want to fork this. This is cool. It's just, I really liked the way it was set up. It's, it uses classic contracts like the synthetic staking rewards. And like, so it's all just battle tested contracts, but then it was tied together like in a neat little package, which added the yield farming and the bonus emissions on top of the vaults. So that was kind of how I came to want to fork that. And yeah, it just is really cool protocol, and that's kind of why I did it. And then just where there was PulseX, but there wasn't any yield aggregator. I think there was a yield aggregator, but it had like rugged or something. So I was like, oh, I need a good one, and freaking yeah. And it was like community, you know what I mean? The Pulse Chain community was just like really welcoming. And I've met a bunch of cool people on the way. Like, the project hasn't got huge or anything, but like I've definitely collaborated with other creators here, and it's all like really supportive and everything. So it's been great.
That is great, man. And I do believe you picked the right community to build on, because not only the community is fabulous, man. I mean, these guys are DeFi smart, but then you have a cult-like community, right? Like these guys are screaming at the top of their lungs about Pulse Chain and everything on Pulse Chain. And when you start to get new people coming in, they're going to be looking for these toys. They're going to be looking, where am I going to find this at? You built this basically in the Pulse Chain bear market. Like that's when you launched this thing. We haven't really seen, we saw a little bit in the beginning of the year, but like we haven't really had that big push yet. It's coming. Oh, it's coming. Not financial advice, guys. I'm just like dude in the internet speculates on his own money. That's all I am. But for me and my money, I know it's coming. And man, something like this could absolutely explode once it kind of catches wind, right? Once people realize, the potential of it. Hey, you didn't do a sacrifice, did you?
No, I didn't. I like I said, I jumped in right after the network had launched, so I wasn't
sacrifices.
There was people I know, and I kind of considered myself lucky. But I was like, all right, just because it's going to come back up. But that was like we've had a solid year of taking a beating, really, and yeah, we were definitely building through the bear. And that was actually, there's like emissions on Impulse, and the price has gone down a good bit since the initial launch, which is actually like a year and 2 months ago, I think, is when we officially launched.
Yep.
I actually made the decision. I was like, well, I'm not going to turn up the emissions or anything to increase that APR. I just kept them at the original one because I didn't want to like overinflate it. You know what I mean? Because I knew that it was a bear market, and I didn't want to fight it. So we just kind of rode it.
Yeah, they would have sold the token down anyways, some of the participants, just because to your point, it's a bear market, right? And so I think that was a wise decision. And man, I mean, even still, like, I mean, I'm participating over there in my PulseX Inc. farm. I love it. And I'm earning quite a bit of IMPLS tokens. So I'm happy with the emissions on what it's kicking out right now. Cool, man. Do you want to do like a walkthrough? You got some screens pulled up. You can click that little present button down there at the bottom.
And while he's pulling that up, I just want to give props to Karos, because he's seriously one of the best devs I've come across on Pulse Chain. I mean, anytime I want him to add a new vault, different pairs, he gets them up like right away. He's always building like these, other, products that are kind of like on the side, some other, Deegan, like DeFi stuff that he can also share. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely, this is, I think, the only yield aggregator on Pulse Chain. Other networks like other
So, hey, thanks, man, too. I appreciate that, because that's kind of like my thing when I'm building projects. I'm like, I want to make something that like people will enjoy using, kind of fills a need, because there's just so many rug pulls and stuff. So I think people like it when it's just, someone's just building like legit stuff.
Yeah, and I discovered this over a year ago. I've been farming there ever since, and it just reminded me, like last bull run, I was a big user of like Beefy Finance and Cryptos and Auto Farm and some other yield aggregators on like Binance Smart Chain, and they're really popular on other chains. So we really need some stuff like this on Pulse Chain for sure.
Yep, I agree, man. Cool, man. Well, so kind of walk us through what you got here that you're sharing. So it's working good.
All right, the screen is sharing. It's posted.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is actually the second iteration of the UI. I released this one a couple months back, and it's just to kind of tie everything together with the protocol. So there's the farm, vaults, and stake. The farm, this is going to be the core yield rewards farm. So just Impulse, WPLS, LP is staked. And right now it's set so that the core yield farm gets 40% of the daily emissions. The daily emissions right now is 425 Impulse, and it's on a scale, so it's always decreasing over time for this first 300,000 tokens. So it'll become less and less, the emissions, but it's very slowly. It's like a slow curve. So this is the primary yield farm. It's on PulseX V1. And this is, kind of the incentive just to have Impulse and PLS liquidity is its primary function. The other 60% of the daily emissions are sent to the vaults. And the vaults, I think we kind of touched on it, but what the vaults do essentially is if you're using PulseX, for example, and you're farming ink, we all know how like you're farming ink, and then say a week or so in, you want to take that ink you've gained and you sell it and get, say, DAI/PLS, just reinvest it. So the vaults essentially automate that process, and it does it multiple times a day for you. So it'll automatically be doing that daily.
And that's every time someone does the harvest bribe where they
we're kind of loading here. But for protocols, I have when I started, my biggest one was PulseX because like the APRs were good, and I was like, man, that's like just perfect that it's still V2 like Uniswap style LP token staking.
Right.
So PulseX as the primary protocol, but I've also added, we got like 9-inch farms now, and we had Daytona Finance, and we've added all of these protocols, but I was waiting for these things to launch. And so basically this will pop up, and this is how you can deposit in it. And a little feature that I thought was cool is like the zappers, DeFi zappers, basically. So on deposit and withdraw LP, you can select PLS, and you could deposit PLS and it'll automatically buy the LP you need and create the token for you and stake it.
Oh, that's great.
And the same on withdraw, basically the same way in reverse. So if this loads, it'll show the rest of the UI. And when you have when you have like some stake, that it pops up a little bit more information, and it shows you how much staked LP you have, and also how many impulse rewards you've had. And one thing that I noticed people can get confused on is so the ink rewards right here. It'll show the ink rewards, and what that is how much the vault has gained since the last harvest. So you can click harvest, and it'll automatically take those rewards and reinvest it, and it does it for the whole vault. So because there's multiple people in one vault, so the ink rewards it shows are for the whole vault, and that can kind of confuse people sometimes because they think it's just for one person. But when at harvest, it does it for everyone, and the impulse rewards, these individually for each person are claimable. So when you claim your impulse rewards, those go right to your wallet. And that's on top of, the APR that you're getting from the compounding. So when you're compounding, instead of gaining that ink, your DAI and PLS, the number of LP you have, that's the part that's growing for you. And then on top of that is the impulse rewards. Let me just refresh this and see if I can get that to load.
Yeah, so right now it looks like everybody's earning about 9 or 10% above the underlying farm APRs with that extra IMPLS bonus.
I'm gonna try also see if I can bring it up on my computer and see if it loads. I might have to.
Sometimes I think I get rate limited on the RPC because when it's open, it keeps refreshing. So I think that's why it does that sometimes for me. Ooh.
Yeah. Let me see.
Hey, Corey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure if the Wi-Fi is too good here, but yeah, what I was saying, I don't know if extra APR.
You're cutting in and out, though, Ben. Yeah, you are cutting in and out.
Okay, I might have to jump off and jump on. Hold
on. I'll go ahead and go to the stake page and wait for this to load.
See, so it's like to get this to load.
Yeah, that'd be cool if it pop up because it'll show that little extra information it gives you when it shows that you have some staked.
Yeah, my problem is just Puerto Rico when I'm streaming. I can't even load Deck Screener when I'm streaming on because my internet is so bad here in Puerto Rico.
Let me try and reach it through this.
Yeah, see what you can do.
Yeah, I know. I slowed right down. Maybe this will possibly get it to.
Yeah, if I bring it up on my crypto laptop, it will pop right up. It always pops up and does fine on.
Yeah, no, usually it does is when I was getting ready for the stream, I had the window open and left it open for a bit, so it's probably been calling the RPC and the RPC might have blocked me from doing so many requests because I just kind of left it open and it refreshes the data every 15 seconds or so, but it seems it's going now a little bit. So
I think it's paused on my end, but your screen, your face is paused too. Guys,
it is.
Yeah. Your camera's paused.
Huh. Let me. Is my screen showing? Does it maybe pause it when presenting the screen by chance?
Maybe.
it just moved just now.
Well, I'll go to the next section of the page and.
Yeah, it's moving now. Let's see if it. Give it a second. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's loading on it though.
Are you Ben? You have your computer?
Yeah, but I'm doing the StreamYard from my phone. I don't know if I can add the.
Oh yeah. Let me see if I can get it to go, man. So here's what I'm gonna do. I might pause for a minute because of my Wi-Fi, but I'm gonna refresh.
Yeah. Is it loading fine on yours? Then maybe if you screen it, then I can just
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So Karos, there's a question. There's a question in the chat about if the protocol's been audited, and I believe the original protocol, Psycho Finance, was audited, and you didn't change really any of the code from the fork, right? Or
the original, I don't think it had an official audit actually. But it was like battle tested basically. It had a few $1 million in it for like a good period of time, and that was kind of how I gauged its safety. But I don't think there was an official like company audit on it. But it was contributed to by like multiple developers and everything. And the underlying contracts are like the same contracts like Synthetic used the staking rewards contract. and those are heavily audited.
I got it.
But yeah, we're a 1-for-1 fork of that right now. Until any new vaults that introduce any new code, then we're using like the exact same contracts as that protocol, which ran for a good period of time and had a pretty hefty amount of TVL in it. So it would be cool to get an official audit.
There's
when
audit firm. I can send you a link. We're getting one on another protocol right now that's going to be coming out in a few weeks. The Pulse Bitcoin mining DApp that's going to allow you to dual mine with ASIC. So I think the audit's not going to really be too much either. You could probably community fundraise it. But yeah, definitely. I mean, I remember we talked about that over a year ago on Twitter Spaces, and it's been working flawlessly, since we all started using it. So
yep. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, I can see yours has popped up now. Awesome.
Perfect. All right. So you were first talking about the farm. This is your main IMPLS, Impulse, and Pulse liquidity farm. You're saying it plugs it in V1 of PulseX. Is that accurate?
Yep. That's the primary yield farm. As far as project health, that's like to bring PLS liquidity paired with Impulse. Yes. And 40% of the daily emissions are sent to there.
Got it. Yeah, and I mean, it's making 50%.
Oh, that's V1, not V2?
It is V1, yep. And for security reasons, the way it's set up, it's not... I can create Impulse and PLS V2 liquidity, but as far as the protocol, the way it's set up is that it can't be changed. Basically kind of they do that for like security reasons. So that,
I see, because
if it could be changed.
It's not earning the trading fees on V1, but you'd have to migrate it somehow if you wanted to try to change it.
Yeah, exactly. There'd have to be some protocol changes, and the way it's set up, it kind of locks in those initial settings, like the core rewards farm. It's for user security, basically, so the dev couldn't just update it and suddenly be taking up most of the emissions or minting new tokens or anything like that. Right. So we're on V1 right now, and as far as the primary core farm is concerned, we're kind of stuck on V1 because I've thought about going to V2 as well, but yeah, when we launched, like I said, it was pretty early on, so we just kind of hopped there because that's where a lot
of at that time was.
Yeah.
So a lot of the vaults. So I know.
Go ahead, DeFi
I know the PulseX. I know the PulseX vaults are mostly V1s, but the other vaults, like the 9-inch ones, are all on V2. So you are earning the trading fees, the LP rewards on top of, and those actually aren't even showing in the UI, the APR. You have to go to 9-inch to see what the trading fees, because they fluctuate so much. So you're going to add those on top of whatever rates you see on the IMPLS UI.
Yeah, exactly. Since our vaults are dealing with that LP, and that's essentially where that extra APR is coming from. So yeah, you're still holding that LP essentially. So your value is growing from them as well on the V2 style vault farms.
All right, here's the vault. Let me load this page. There it goes. And as you guys can see here, I mean, he's got all the PulseX farms in here, which is really cool. You can see that. I mean, look at it. These guys are making an extra 9% on top of their yield that they're earning over in PulseX. Plus, it's being auto compounded. This is what was sexy and attractive to me, right? For one, I don't like doing extra work, compounding myself. And for two, who doesn't like a little bit extra free money as a bonus to bring your money over and put the LP tokens here? And so here's the INC and PLSX farm. You can see right now there's over about almost $103,000 of liquidity in here, and making a 23.65 with the 9% on top earns about 32.81, man. So, I mean, if you're just in PulseX, this is all you're going to be earning is 23%. Over here, you're getting 32% plus the compound. And like Kairos was saying, you get your compound right here, or not the compound, you get your extra reward tokens right here. You just push claim, very simple. And then you can do whatever you want with those, right, guys? I mean, if you want to cheat them. I'm holding mine actually because I think IMPLS is going to do quite well in this next market cycle. So I've been holding my bag. I've been putting it in the stake and then also in the farm. So I'm just kind of making, make yield on top of my yield. It's that whole strategy. And so that's why I've liked it so far. But I mean, yeah, he's got a lot of them in here. He's got the 9-inch stuff with Solid X. I like Solid X. BBC and Solid X. I like that pool. That's a good pool. I'm not in here, but
that was the last
I would be.
vault that was just loaded. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you in here, DeFi Nation?
Yeah, that may be mostly my LPO there, but
that's your LP there.
Yeah. And
docs your LP.
It's fine. And the other 9-inch farms, the extra APR isn't showing. I think Karos, you said it takes like 24 hours for the APR to reset once there's like a new liquidity added in, right? Because the other ones are 9%. That one's under 1%.
Yeah, that one that was up above that said like 0.12 impulse for the bonus APR is because daily there's an emission cycle, and on that emission cycle it will adjust the amount of impulse emissions based on the TVL. So if there's like a big deposit, it will go down, but then it will normalize on the next day. So they'll all be about the same APR.
They'll even out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, apparently there was a 9-inch whale that moved 6 figures in last night to support the protocol. So I think you'll have to wait about 24 hours for that to reset.
Jeez, where are these wells coming from, man?
Yeah, daily. Usually that's about 4 p.m. EST. That's when it runs each day. So around that time is when, if you've made a visit and waiting for that, that's when it'll happen daily.
I was just trying to dilute Corey some because he always dilutes me in the.
Yeah, then you got to come back and dilute me now. What's going on, bro? We got to play well games here.
I'm going to come back in that INC. Yeah. I'm going to come back in that INC PLSX vault next.
Oh man, that's my favorite, man. Yeah, I mean, there's somebody in here. I don't know who that is, but there's definitely somebody. But man, this is yeah. I mean, I love it, man. You got this here. This is what's their name? I'm not providing LP over there, but what are they called?
It's Donnie over with Function Island. He's got a bunch of cool stuff he's been building over there. He just put up a deck from farms as well. He did work on Goat though. He was like the original developer. I'm not sure how much he still works with him, but that's where I met him at first. And yeah, he did Function Island as his new project. And yeah, he's steady building too.
You got Tony on here. I remember those guys.
Tony Farms too.
Yeah.
Is that farm still kind of? Is it still? I haven't really seen anything about it. It was like really popular when Pulse Chain launched, and then it just kind of.
Yep.
I remember really that. Heard anything about it? Daytona Finance.
Oh yeah, Slashdot. He's been he did that Squirrel Secret Society NFT project. No, it was at ERC 404, I think it was. And then, but also on Daytona Finance, he's done a bunch of updates as well. He's got like NFTs on there now. There's another token that I think he's using as an incentive token as well. It's like SOSA, I think was the name of it. But yeah, they've had a bunch of releases too over the past, since Pulse Chain launched. And
I mean, here's the
can you
crazy
share a little
part.
bit about your own yield farms too that you
hold on real quick. I just want to point this out, DeFi Nation, before you do that. There's the crazy part. If any of you guys have any of these farms and any of these protocols, like look at the TVL on them. You could come in and like literally rocket inside this pool. Like you would take the majority of the emission. Look at this.
The kilobyte. That kilobyte one we're just on there. There was another small DEX actually that launched a desktop, and they wanted the community wanted a community farm. So that was actually a community farm kind of that I built and did that. And then the PLS Bro is actually another one of my projects. And the cool thing about it, that Impulse /Bro farm is every time that compound happens, it actually buys impulse. So that farm right there will create, buy pressure. Anything that we have, anything that's paired with impulse, because it has to sell the reward token, buy impulse for the compound. So it kind of indirectly helps the project that way too.
Yeah, that's your
it's
NFT.
94%.
Yeah, that one was an NFT project I did early on too. It was NFTs, and then there's the farm, and then there's like a little kind of dice rolling game where you can kind of like one of those high or low games, just on chain. It's just a fun little kind of, the goal was to do like a high PR farm.
That was the first bro token on Pulse Chain before BitBoy launched his bro token on that.
Before he got his bro.
Spelled different though.
Yeah, we did the burrow, like, because we called the farms on the printers.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So I think there's about 150,000 TVL on the whole on all the vaults, and about half that is made up of PulseX, and the other half is about from 9-inch currently, right?
Actually on the Telegram I have a bot that tells the TVL, but I haven't added like the last 3 vaults recently. I got to go into the Telegram bot and add the new vaults, but it'll give us an idea. Let me see what we're at.
And I just want to point out how like super undervalued and undiscovered this protocol still is, with only 150,000 TVL.
That's crazy.
The TVL on PulseX is in the hundreds of millions, and then 9 inches, I think about 18 million. So we're not even at a million in TVL. Even the market cap on the IMPLS token is only at $73,000 right now, which is extremely low. And this had reached about $5 after it launched. I think it reached $5, sitting around 25 cents. So what is that, like a 20x just to get back to its all-time high?
DeFi Nation, 47,000. Circulating supply of 47,000. Circulating supply is only 188,000. It's trading at a quarter today. I mean, I remember when I came in here and I put my LP in here, I think it was 5 cents. So it's already done, or maybe more than that. Before it's already done like a 4 or 5x. It's following a pulse,
and
very
just
closely.
Like 2 or 3 weeks, basically.
Yeah, it's like a leverage on pulse. But I mean, gosh, you could come in here and become a whale, or a shark, or a dolphin. I mean, dolphin would cost you almost nothing. You got total supply of 300,000 IMPLS.
Yeah.
And,
so it's only about 3,000 tokens to become a whale, right?
Right. That would be a whale. It'd be 3,000 tokens, and at a quarter, it's not very much. I can get the calculator.
It's like $800 right now. I think it's about $750.
It's ridiculous, man. That's why it's because nobody knows about it. It's just because no one knows about it. That's why. And some of you guys might be asking, go ahead, DeFi. No,
I just said that's why I've been farming for the last year, and wanted to get you to highlight and put a spotlight on it, because the things that being early is the biggest thing in crypto.
It's key.
If you're early, you find things undiscovered, and then you let it. If it's a good solid product, they get discovered eventually, and then they blow up, and then you're first mover advantage. So
when the core does a 5, 10, 15, 20x, and not financial advice, guys, but if Pulse goes and does that, right, your spear, how Sami likes to call it, like this stuff here, man. This is your massive leverage plays. I mean, of course, you got your meme coins too. Those are a lot of fun. And you might be thinking, okay, well, Corey, this is cool and all, but what can I do with my IMPLS token? Is that just a dump token? And the answer is no. You could come in here and you could stake it in the single-sided, you hear that, guys? Single-sided staking pool, and earn pulse. You earn rewards and pulse from the emissions of the vaults. And so you could earn passive income. And I've seen this fluctuate anywhere, from 10 up to 25%. But I mean, there's no risk, right? You don't have any permanent loss risk. That's why I love it. And DeFi Nation knows.
Yeah, I think it was like
loss.
yeah. I think it was like 35 cents a few weeks ago before some TVL moved off the vaults.
Yeah,
but I've seen this. How high has this been, Karos? Because I've seen this, I think, like almost 100% in the past.
Yeah, I remember those Atropha farms at one point, which were like they had like 400% APR and some decent TVL when that project first launched, and we were like up over 100% in the single sided. So, and I like the single sided because
single side was 100%.
Or the revenue share. I mean, yeah. See, just those high APR farms really add to it. So, yeah, basically, the more vault deposits, the better the revenue share. I liked how everything works together with it, like because you have the single sided, which kind of will reduce the selling pressure, but also you're depositing that and not earning like just any token, like you can earn PLS like directly, which we're all stacking.
Yeah, that's super cool. I mean, I've already stacked a lot of PLS in there.
And like strategy,
the IMPLS PLS farm, I've seen that up around 300-400% when the TVL was high. I think that was maybe last year.
Yeah,
sometime.
I mean it's 50 today. High. I mean that's what I'm doing. All my IMPLS right that I'm earning from the vault, I'm just sticking it over here to the LP.
What was it before you? What was it before you went in there, Corey? I think it was like 75%, and you smacked it down, right?
Oh yeah, the rev share. Yeah, I killed it because
the
like
farm APR.
Oh well, same with the vault, like the staking, not the vault, the staking. I put all my IMPLS tokens in here, and I was like majority of the pool. I'm like, you know what? I'll go ahead and pull out and open up a farm, and that's what I did.
I stayed in the single side because you went to the farm,
Yeah, so that way now my exposure with the IMPLS and the utility exposure, if you will, is split between the two now, which I like that because I still like the single side staking because once again, I hate impermanent loss. I don't want my farm getting too big because I have my pulse in there. What if, IMPLS runs hard against pulse? Well, what happens is I lose my right?
And it has in the last couple of weeks because
and it has, right?
Yeah, and it's like what is it was about a 5x on IMPLS, and what's PLS done since its local bottom? It's done about a
1x.
Right?
Yeah, it's 1 to 2x, right? Hex has done a 5x since the bottom, but 1 to 2x.
Yeah.
And so I'm already getting a little bit of permanent loss, but I mean I am earning the rewards, the IMPLS rewards here, making up for it. But at the same time, for me, my money, I don't want my IMPLS, PLS, LP getting too big. So I'm going to stick a lot of the other, tokens over here in the single sided. And so it's just another functionality for me that I like for the more conservative liquidity provider. Now, some people are more risk on and they want to go all in on the farms, and I get it. And I get it because they love the APY, they love the carrot. It's just not my personality. I'm lucky I'm here I'm lucky I'm here at all, to be honest with you. And,
the revenue share, because it kind of adds another dimension just for your strategy. You know what I mean? Like if you're in the vaults, you're getting that impulse. And then if you're also in the revenue share, you get that PLS. Well, you can pair that and put that in the core farm. And it's kind of like it all works together for your benefit, kind of.
Right. If you have both going, you're earning one or the other, and you keep stacking. It's like it's so cool. Yeah.
Combine them.
And then for me, man, I was earning this token, right? Like here at the bottom, I'm like, I'm not gonna sell it. Like it's like there was no point in selling it. Like, why am I gonna sell it? Like, I might as well put it to work for me and ride this next little wave up at the very least, right? And so it's just I'm not selling nothing at the bottom. I'll tell you that. That's just how I think. And even some of my I'm over in the bro pool on 9-inch. Like I'm not selling that either. I'm just stacking it because who knows what it could do in the next cycle or next altcoin season cycle, which is kind of upon us now. So yeah, man, this is cool stuff, dude. I'm really, really excited about it. Let's real quick. I need to go back. Let's see if there's any questions in the chat. Let me catch up here. Let me say hi to people. Red Squirrel, what up, brother? Oi, oi to you, man. We're not having caterpillar soup yet. We will. There it is. It's lagging on my end, guys. So be patient. My internet is laggy today because I'm sharing screen. Let me stop sharing for a little bit. It will help me catch up. Let's effing go. IMPLS. Yep, I'm just going to read some of these. Mitch loves IMPLS. Frank bought a bag, man. I love it, man. I mean, you could have bought a bag for cheap. Look, I pushed that button like a minute ago, and it finally came up on the screen. Oh, man. Frank White, bang, bang, Pulse Gang. What's up, my man? JJ, Highway 777. I love it. Hex Claim, what's up, man? How you doing? Ruth, what's going on? D-Nice, the hat. Yeah, bro. This is a celebration for the green candles. And, of course, today, IMPLS. Actually, it's part of my Halloween costume. So it was like, when we were celebrating yesterday and getting all euphoric, I decided to grab it. And it's kind of like the old Richard Hart costume, right? Like he used to wear the tall top hat on his old videos. And Zenith, what's up, man? How we doing out there? Fat Sammy, my man, how you doing? Hi, all. Let's go. Shout out to Pulse Bitcoin admin, DeFi Nation. Yeah, man, he's the GOAT, that's for sure, with all this stuff. And IMPLS also, Corey, for being on Pulse. I appreciate it, man. Don't cheat your hex, but fuck no, man. Hell no. I am waiting on another DCA. If we have a nice little pullback, which I think could happen, I don't know if it will. Like it's showing a lot of overbought, but like on the RSI and some indicators, right? Like I would like to see a little bit of pullback before I can do another DCA. But if not, my bags are packed, man. Send it. If they want if the whales want to full send it, do it. Send Pulse. IMPLS will get sent with it, and it'll be a beautiful end of year going into Christmas. Man, I am excited. Like the video on the way in.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to
go ahead.
If anybody wants to comment, and if anybody want to comment what farms they would like to see, whether they're on, I think we got most of the Pulse ones already on here, but any 9-inch farms, any other protocols you want to see integrated. Karos will definitely take a look and potentially add. I know we're going to be adding some more 9-inch ones. We were talking about doing some of the access pairs, maybe access BBC, and then I think we also talked about doing maybe some bro pairs, the bro token, BitBoys token with maybe BBC. So those will probably be coming out soon, I think.
Farming contracts work as they should. You mean unlike Pulse Latina's farming contracts?
Don't simp, guys. Yeah.
The rug of the century, man. The rug of the century.
I was live.
Simpers got rugged.
Go ahead, Kairos. You cut out.
I was live in a chat, voice chat with a few guys right when that rug happened. That was intense. We all didn't believe it. You're like, what?
Yeah,
everyone was
announced that in there. Yeah.
I didn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I mean, it took DeFi Nation in my ear probably like 10 different times at the Kava bar and talking to me before I finally put my money over into this and then freaking I'm very conservative with the liquidity farming and all that stuff just because for me most passive income is just a carrot to get wrecked. But I definitely know there's money there. So
I definitely don't think it's a smart idea joining a farm that's called Pulse Latina Farm. Just the name kind of threw me off, so I never even looked at that.
My gosh! Yeah,
was happy. No, for sure.
Skip that one. Fortunately.
Oh man, we got. See if I can. The comments will pop back up again. No, they're not working for me. Oh, there we go. Joe Irvine, hydrate. Yes. We got the man, the myth, the legend here. I appreciate you, Matty Allen, as always, for everything you do for the community. Keep on with the conferences, man. It's an absolute blast. Can't wait to see you again at the next HETS conference or Pulse Chain conference or cruise or whatever we see each other at. So, bonus. Yeah, man. This is a Saturday bonus show because I really wanted to put the spotlight on this protocol. I've been using it for 6 months. I'm enjoying it. I like it. It's making me money. And I was like, man, let's get a spotlight on this because it's undiscovered. Like, I don't understand how more people don't know about it, to be honest with you. Like, this is the kind of things that when you're kind of a liquidity provider, farmer, degen, whatever. Like if you're kind of playing a little outside of the blue chips, like this is the stuff that people like to use. And so wanted to make sure we put a spotlight. And I love the builders. Love the builders. I really believe, Kairos, like the bear market, the reason why we didn't go to zero, the community too. There's two reasons. It's because of community and because the builders. The builders drug us through that bloody ass, nasty SEC bear market. It was the builders who did that. I will argue that blew my face. And the community. The community also. It was twofold. Otherwise, who knows where'd be at, what we'd be doing. And I mean, so we appreciate you guys always. And so, yeah. What else? Let's see what Frank is saying. What other streams are you going to do? Share on IMPLS. Reach out. I might be able to help you. Yeah, that's a good comment there, Kairos. You should get around the circuit and start just streaming with people and talking about it and getting the good word of IMPLS out there, so a lot more people know about it. I mean, we have some, we'll probably get about 500 views from this stream. We have 122 right now watching, but obviously we know the pulsing ecosystem is a lot bigger than that. And so we can get you some of these other platforms would be awesome. And Frank does have a lot of good connections too. So do I. Obviously, being a streamer, I can talk to people. Yeah, man, we would love to see you get it around and get the good word out of this. And man, it's been around for a year, dude. Like it's been here.
Yeah,
for
you might want to see if you can add Karos to Frank's group. You can connect in there and the weekly call. You can come on and we're doing we're gonna do a Twitter space next week. I think Fast Sam and I will. The Pulse Bitcoin community with the Tetra guys, I think we're talking to, and possibly the Texan token guys. So, yeah, Karos, if you want to join that,
make sure you notify me that. I'd love to pop in.
Protocols.
Yeah, sounds great. I know I've been wanting to do more streaming.
Awesome. How you gonna get the
word so out? Far I was on the.
Oh, he's cutting. You're cutting out there, Kairos.
Oh, am I? My connection must be not coming through that great. Am I still cutting out?
Yeah, you're good now.
I can hear you.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, no, I was saying I definitely would like to get into some more streaming. I've done a little bit. I think we actually did that Twitter space with Pulse Bitcoin a few months back, and I was on the other Corey show as well.
That was over a year ago.
Yeah. Over a year already. Flies by.
Yo, that was I think that was 2 years ago. That was a long time ago. But yeah, you were on Corey Costas. You can go on YouTube and watch that video. And I think you did something with Crypto Coffee, right?
Coffee, he's gone over the protocol. I wasn't on his show and did it, but he's mentioned us a few times. So he's been helping.
I think you did an AMA on the Telegram, or like a voice AMA. I remember I was on it, I think.
Yeah, I've done a couple AMAs. I in the Coin Hub, those guys have been great too, letting me come up and kind of do some AMAs in their room. So yeah, but definitely I'll work on getting on some more streams just to kind of get the word out there a little more as well.
Yeah, because I'll say this, Kairos. I mean, you getting out and just kind of like showing your face and talking about it, like you're the founder, like you're going to get, that's going to breed activity. It's going to breed people using the protocol, breed people coming in and staking and doing everything else that's going on over there. The auto compounder, the liquidity position. I mean, it's a great protocol. And a lot of people, like when they know who the dev is, or they know who the founder is, they have a lot more like, a surety to go and participate in that said protocol. Now that we know it's a fork, which is great. We like forks because we know it's been proven. And yeah, man. So I think it'll help out a lot. It would help out a lot. So cool, man.
Yeah, it'd be great to get you linked up with like the 9-inch team, because I think you have over half a dozen of their farms in here now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I actually talked to one of the devs to try to put this in front of them. So if we can get Money Gang to look at it, or Hexy, or and I think actually misspoke earlier. It's not 150,000 in TVL. I think it's actually about 250,000, because I think you're half half Pulse X, half 9-inch, and I think there's about 125,000 in each. So it's about 250,000 in TVL.
Yeah, there's $100,000 just in Pulse X and ink.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's so
and these are low. These are low, you know, pools like compared to some of the larger underlying farms. So,
yep. Cool, man. Well, Kairos, you want to shield your socials, you know, where people can find you. Anything else, you know, that you want to mention? Go on ahead, man.
Yeah, we're on. So on Impulse Finance, I have the Telegram and the Twitter on there. Our Twitter handle is also Impulse IMPLS Finance. And that's, you know, as far as me, I'm primarily in the Telegram chatting with the community. And yeah, if you go right on the website, it has the links on the side as well, so you can follow and jump in the community.
Cool. Excellent, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on today on a Saturday. It's we're like, once again, man, I can't express my gratitude enough to the builders on Pulse. I don't build, right? Like, I'm not a builder. We're an onboard. We're onboarders. That's what we do. We specialize in onboard new money into Pulse Chain. But man, you guys drug us through the bear market, through that thick, and man, that blood was nasty that we went through the last year, and we're starting to finally see some light kind of towards the end of the tunnel here. And I think, man, as the spirit goes up, as Pulse Chain goes up, you know, things like this are going to, you know, follow suit. I mean, guys, it's a $50,000 market cap, the coin. It's what? Like, you come in and you don't even have to buy the coin. You can come in and just yield farm, right? You can either yield farm, or you could yield farm on other protocols and bring it over or do a liquidity position and then come over and put your LP in there. And that way you're farming there, earning that IMPLS basically for free, right? You don't have to buy it anyways. I mean, you're earning it from LP, but you don't have to buy it. Yeah, go ahead.
At its all-time high, it was about 1.4 million market cap when it that was after it launched. I think that was August last year. So yeah, it definitely has some room to go back, you know, to those levels when we start pumping on Pulse Chain.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely could revisit the all-time high. Who knows, right? Like, and go past that with that kind of a market cap. But that kind of market cap, you don't know what the true potential of the coin is, because it's like, it hasn't really been discovered. Even at a $1 million market cap, that's not very high. I look for some meme coin sometimes, like, oh, I'll throw a couple $100 in. It's a $1 million market cap, right? It goes to 10 million, it's a 10x, and even 10 million is a low market cap. So I mean, yeah, opportunity, not financial advice. It's just what I'm doing with my money, guys. It's what I'm doing in my liquidity position, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm over there staking. I'm over there providing LP with a little bit IMPLS. That way I can kind of diversify my risk with that IMPLS token that I'm earning from my PulseX and Ink farm. I was going to have the PulseX and Ink farm anyways. I was going to do it anyways. I might as well.
Corey, did you ever think you were going to become a Poseidon in a token? I was like pretty proud of my like triple whale position until Corey came and like friggin' smoked me with he's close up to the Poseidon right now. It's like,
well, it's so easy because I mean the token is cheap and you earn the rewards. You can earn it. You earn it. I mean, I've been in there now for 6 months though, so it's, you know, about half the time.
Yeah, if you got good sized LPs.
Yes,
yeah, it racks up fast if you got good sized LPs.
And it has no
you can
market
earn
cap.
$100
no
a day pretty easily.
Like, you're earning all these tokens, and that's what I was saying earlier, Kairos. I'm glad you didn't up the emissions. I think it was a wise decision because you're earning a lot of tokens. I feel like even for what the market cap is and what the supply is, right? Like, you're earning a lot in that regard. And I get it, price going down kind of hurts the APY, the advertising for that, but like that's temporary, right? We're going to see this shit reverse
and that
see it go.
Yeah, that extra bonus APR actually goes up. So if IMPLS does a 10x from here, then you're looking at like an extra 90% APR on top of the farm APR, right, Karos? Am I correct? Like somewhat with that? Or?
Well, as the price goes up, the core rewards APR will be higher, and the vault bonus emissions APR will be higher if the price increases. And also the opposite. When it goes down, then the APR comes down.
Yep.
Yeah. And what happens when so right now it's about 188,000 circulating of the 300,000 cap supply. What happens when it reaches that 300,000, like for extra rewards at that point?
Well, there's once it gets to 300,000, we can continue emissions. The way the previous was set up is that was kind of the question on if they wanted to stop the emissions at that point or continue it. So in the contract, we have, in my opinion, I think the best thing would be to continue the emissions. And basically what it'll do at that point is it starts minting, and the amount minted slowly decreases as more are made until it, almost like Bitcoin with its rewards, it just keeps getting lower and lower. So it will continue emissions after 300,000. And then it will just continue to reduce the emissions as time goes on.
Got it. Okay. So that means keep stacking.
Or just have it have the emissions. Yeah. Or if you had the emissions to discontinue, then it would just be the extra compounding yield that you'd be earning staying in the vaults.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Which we could, I think I figured it out at about, it's about 3 years worth of emissions. So we still have, another year and a half, 2 years before we have to make the decision one way or another on whether ending the bonus emissions or continuing on with the impulse emissions and have it do the reducing scaling factor so it becomes less and less over time.
Yeah, and that will be in the next bear market anyway. So
yeah, I'm not worried about that. It's not yet. Not yet, anyways. Well, cool, guys. I do appreciate both of you guys come on that show today. We'll put some feelers out there for you, Kairos, that see if you get you some on, some of these other shows. We'd love to see you kind of move around the circuit a little bit, get some exposure. I feel like it's an amazing protocol. It's underexposed. I mean, any of you guys who see, go over there and look. Go look at your farms that you're in right now, your liquidity you're providing, and see if they're over there and see. You might want to own that particular pool. You'd be taken away from my yield or my emissions of IMPLS, but I'm cool with it. Let's get a spotlight on this thing and get some exposure. And so we appreciate it, guys. Thank you much. And guys, remember, hit the like, smash the subscribe button for me. I got 134 people on here.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You still there? I can hear you, Kairos.
Oh, I think I might have disconnected there for a second.
Okay, you hear me now? All right, well, he's frozen. Guys, so 134 you guys, come over, hit the like, smash the subscribe.
I can't hear Corey now. Can you hear him on there, or did
Yeah, I can hear him. I think he's just wrapping up the show, but
yeah, I'm wrapping it up.
Oh, okay,
but
cool.
Guys, thanks Corey for having us on too.
Yep, I appreciate you guys.
We'll be doing a Twitter space next week. We can let you know about it.
Peace.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me up. I'm not sure if we're still live, but if any users have any questions, just hop into Telegram and you can ask any questions or request any new vaults in there.
Awesome. Absolutely. Thank you again, Kairos. Appreciate it.